Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Peter Marriott, Sales Manager for Satake. And over the next 15 minutes or so, I'd like to give you an introduction to Henry Simon. The title of my presentation is 140 Years of Innovation. Some of the older members of the audience may remember the name of Henry Simon, a very famous name in innovation. Just to have a little bit of history about Henry himself, he moved to the UK in 1860, and Henry Simon, the company, was formed in 1878. It was at a time when flour milling was more just coming to the end of using stone grinding, and the roller mills were coming to the fore. And Henry Simon had developed the gradual Simon reduction system. So within about 14 years of the company's founding in 1878, there were over 400 Simon flour mills around the world. Just to put a more historical context on the background to Henry Simon, as I say, formed in 1878, it merged with another UK flour milling engineer, Thomas Robinson, to form Robinson Milling Systems in 1988. And that company was subsequently purchased by Satake Corporation in 1991, where Satake were very well known in the rice industry, but were looking to expand into other markets, in particular the flour milling and maize milling sectors. But the name Simon has been synonymous with innovation throughout its entire history. A few historical notes of innovation: we were the first to gain a patent for two high roller mills way back in 1913. We were the first to develop the oil-free differential drive. We could say goodbye, finally, to the drip trays and oil pans on the roller floor, which were a sanitation nightmare. And consequently, just about every other milling engineer has moved to differential-type drive belts on the roll stands. Another first was the auto gap that we introduced. Also, we were the first to develop bulk flour load-out systems. The first project was in Scotland for a mill called Chancellor Mills, where again we could then have a major step forward in efficiencies for flour mills, where we could load trucks in minutes rather than hours. We're also the first company talking about automation to introduce PLC automation of flour mill controls. That was a plant in Ireland was the first to benefit from that automation. More recently, we've been involved in the commercialization of debranding systems, both for hard wheat mills and durum mills, significant improvements in flour quality, in food safety, in mill capacity, and of course product quality. We were the first to introduce food-grade plastic sieves, which again have become pretty much a standard throughout the flour milling industry now. And also we were the first to introduce colour sorting way back in 1931. We had the first colour sorter. And in fact, the first installation of a colour sorter in a flour mill was in Asia for GMC in the Philippines back in the 80s. So the name Henry Simon has been very well known for innovation over the years. It's a brand that has laid dormant for a little while. However, it's a brand that's been owned by Satake Corporation, and a collaboration now with Alapala. We have relaunched the whole range of Henry Simon equipment as our premium range of flour milling machinery. The collaboration between Satake and Alapala was formalized in 2015, although we've been working with them for quite some time. The relationship gives us combined resources of sales, of marketing, engineering, R&D, so bringing together two very large organizations to the benefit of the milling industry. And the most recent innovation in 2017 was the announcement to jointly relaunch the brand of Henry Simon to the market. It's interesting that the origins of Alapala actually date back to the very early 60s, when Henry Simon were building a flour mill in Turkey for Hattab Mills in Çorum. Alapala were at that time just a woodworking shop, weren't involved in flour milling, but since this collaboration with Henry Simon, they have come on to become a great force in milling. But The new Henry Simon factory is actually also located in Chorham, as was that flour mill in Hattat. We've built a brand new state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that covers over 60,000 square metres. It has the latest European and Japanese technologies to provide very efficient manufacturing, much quicker lead times, and of course we've had to introduce a lot of the current standards to ensure that we can supply equipment to every customer throughout the world. The image that you can see on the screen shows the new building on the right hand side, from the goods receiving, material storage, through the cutting bending. On the left hand side, that's the original factory, which is now the final assembly. So the whole process flows right through from the right side to the left side. As I mentioned, we've used the latest manufacturing techniques, so from robot welding, cutting, bending, punching machines. So minimum labour requirements, the highest possible quality requirements, the highest possible efficiencies and repeatability of production. The roll assembly and final quality checks prior to dispatch. So we have the factory, we have the people, you've got to have the products as well. So I'll talk just briefly about a couple of the latest Henry Simon machines. Of course, the roller mill usually is the very first machine that people take a look at in any supplier's portfolio, and we've developed the latest Henry Simon roller mill as a reaction to the requests from our customers, where of course you must have a unit that is very precise and repeatable grinding, ensure total food safety in terms of contact parts, make sure it's extremely easy to clean, to access, for maintenance, for fumigation. Very ergonomic design, so the operator is very comfortable using the machine, but also extremely robust to take care of the very heavy grinding requirements of the world's milling needs. Maintenance, of course, is an extremely important issue. We have very low maintenance requirements, very quick roll change with no specific tools required, only standard tools are necessary. We have centralized lubrication systems. We have also developed a new touchscreen system that's linked with a full management package of sensors. So the miller has all of the information to hand in terms of the vibration issues, roll temperature issues, so that the miller can take preventative action to ensure consistent product quality, but also ascertain if there's any problems that may be coming in the roller mill to take action before anything critical happens. We have a brief video of the roller mill, which I think is self-explanatory. translators have had a break now for a couple of minutes. You have to work again now, my friend. Yes. The next machine I'd just like to briefly touch on is our Purifier. Just a couple of salient features I'd like to highlight. This is the first machine that has a touchscreen attached to it. This is going to be used for adjusting the speed of the machine, so we can ensure exact purification depending if it's a coarse or fine product, a change of grist that may be adjusted. We also feature a patented synchronized drive so that we ensure the oscillation of the purifier is perfect, so that you get very good and clean stratification of the semolinas. One energy saving feature that we have LED lighting on it, but that's automatic. When an operator approaches the machine, then the lighting comes on, and as the operator moves away, the lighting goes off. I'd like to briefly talk about our latest wheat debranning machine, our VTA. We have a series of debranners that range from 1 to 2 tons up to 10 tons per hour, and these can remove up to 9% of bran. May be utilised both for soft, for hard, for durum wheats, ideal for capacity increases, or if you're producing high quality white bread flour, or very useful also in semolina mills if you're producing pasta with extremely low spec counts. Of course, for removal of mycotoxins, these machines have proved invaluable to the industry. Moving on to colour sorting, I'd now like to talk briefly about our Picasen colour sorter. This is a machine that we've put forward for the Grappas Innovation Award. It's really a unique machine. It's extremely compact, very versatile, but is fully loaded with high-tech capabilities. It works very much like the human eye, looking at 16 million different colours, can identify extremely small shade differences. So utilising full RGB colour cameras, we have a fantastic, very simple calibration system which enables the operators to very simply create profiles for up to 50 different types of wheat or rice. You simply drop the good product, drop the rejected product, create a profile, so within seconds you're up, you're running, and making an extremely accurate sort. We also have the ability for shape sorting. All of this controlled through a very intuitive touchscreen. Works very much just like an Android or an iPhone swiping. Very, very intuitive in use. But as I say, it's extremely compact. It's actually on wheels, so you can move it around the plant. Some people have different processing facilities. You can move it from one line to the other. Extremely easy to clean if you're using on different products. Every point is accessible. So from a food sanitation perfect, it's a first-class option. That is a single channel colour sorter, but of course we have much larger machines. There's a full range for just about every application you may have within the flour and rice milling requirements, all the way up to 10-chute machines which can sort up to 30 tons per hour. Just have a brief video on the operation of the colour sorter. The colour sources we just saw are RGB, but should you require infrared detection for other types of foreign material, then we have our RGBR sorter. This actually is manufactured here in Thailand, so it has the full functionality of the other machines, plus the addition of infrared. again, shape detection, and is available in 3 and 5 chute capacities. So we have a sorter for just about every application you may have for any type of granular free-flowing materials. So we have the partnership, we have the brand, we have the factory, we have the equipment. So whether it be for a complete project, whether it be for an individual machine, we hope that you will consider the Henry Simon range of machinery. We are very well serviced locally, very much in particular this part of the world, we are extremely strong with people on the ground in terms of service centres, design, sales and support. Throughout the world we have our branch offices and local distribution network. So I hope that that has given you a very brief introduction about Henry Simon. If you have further questions, then we do have a booth. We're down at D90, which is pretty much at the back of the hall. We're very happy to welcome you, answer any questions that you may have. But I thank you very much for your attention.